Shut up and sit down.
What's up, guys? Welcome to this week's episode of the STS Guys. I'm Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Leo.
I'm Scott.
Larry.
And this week we actually have a special guest with us. Stacy, you want to say hi?
Hi, everyone.
Welcome, Stacy.
Welcome,
Hey,
Stacy.
Thank you, guys. Thank you guys for having me.
So one thing everyone may notice right away is we have a little bit of more improved audio quality. That's because we are now a legit podcast. We actually have equipment.
We actually have stuff to use. We're not sharing one single mic.
So we could probably all sound like we're actually having an actual conversation now, rather than all screaming towards one another and actually looking at one mic. Hey, do you talk or do I talk now? Or do I move the mic over here or do I move the mic over there?
I don't have to yell anymore. I will, but I don't have to.
Well, and the nice thing is I can actually control Scott's levels now, so I can turn his ass down.
They can
Yes.
shut me up.
All right, so really packed agenda this week, guys. Let's start off talking about Force Friday. Larry?
Hey, yeah, so Thursday night, right? Went out to a couple of stores for Force Friday, the midnight release. Didn't have a whole lot of plans, but decided I'd hit up Toys R Us first to see if I could get the free Funko shirt. I got there about 2 hours early. I was ninth in line. Had no problem getting the shirt. Got free Funko shirt with the Porg, Chewie, and Rey on it. So that was nice. And they also were giving out a free poster. So got both those. Looked around real quick. Didn't really have plans to buy anything. I literally just wanted the shirt. So there were, like I said, about 8 people in front of me. They all kind of hit the Black Series figures. There was one girl looking at the Pops. So I got the Pop before anyone else did. They did not have the Kylo Ren exclusive.
Boo.
Pretty much boo. But it wasn't just that Toys R Us, it was all Toys R Us's, so that was kind of weird.
So
That was
wait,
weird.
So Toys R Us didn't even have their own exclusive?
They did not have their own exclusive.
Oh,
That was
wonderful.
advertised as, hey, Force Friday, come buy this.
Because that's a good idea.
Let's advertise something that we actually don't actually have.
Whoopsies, we forgot to order it.
I saw some of them who didn't actually get the shirts either.
Well,
again,
even better.
I would have been pissed, right?
Yeah,
I was
you know how
literally
pi-
there for one
Yeah,
thing.
you know how pissed I would have been if I went there at midnight expecting like at least something for my efforts and I didn't have it.
Yeah.
You're not getting my fat ass out anywhere at midnight unless it's for booze or free shit.
Has Toys R Us or Funko issued anything related to that? Like, was
No.
it just an issue getting received?
I haven't seen anything, but that was Thursday night into Friday. I mean, they had time on Friday, but I don't think they're going to say anything other than, hey, it's coming soon.
No.
It's a little bit of a miss, but, you know, it happens. I didn't see anybody too outraged. It wasn't the hottest figure of the day or anything. So.
Well, probably that wasn't it. It was probably more of a Toys R Us issue than probably a Funko issue, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Well, me and Scott actually went out for Force Friday as well on the hunt for some stuff.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that we got stuff, considering we went out at like 1 p.m. on Friday.
Yeah, we went and had lunch, and then like, okay, hey, you know what? If we're lucky enough to actually find some stuff, like, well, you know, that's great. So we actually ended up with a couple of the exclusives. We ended up with the Flock Porg from Hot Topic, and then also the Chrome BB9 unit from Box Lunch.
Right. Yeah, so both stores actually had a decent number of both items. I was thinking that we might get only one or two between the two of us, but ended up actually getting quite a bit.
So I wasn't with you, but I saw the video you guys posted on YouTube. I was shocked, man. Because after Toys R Us, I went to Target, and Target was pretty much sold out of everything. Right? I got there like 5 minutes late because I bounced after Toys R Us. It was right across the street. But everybody was sitting around talking about the Porgs and how much they wanted a Porg, and Target had an open wing Porg, but
Right.
Hot Topic, they had quite a few, right?
Yeah, here's the thing. So me and Scott grabbed. They had 3 on the shelf. We grabbed 2 out of the 3.
Yeah. We left one for somebody else. We were being generous, except for the Chrome BB9s. I think we cleaned them out on that one.
Yeah, the Chrome BB9. Well, we cleaned them out for a very, very special reason.
So, yeah,
One thing you'll actually see.
it's a good segue.
Oh, it is a good segue. Oh, you said segue.
I did. Not in reference to the shitty scooter either.
You mean I don't have to spend $1,000 to say segue? No, that kind of leads us to one of the things that we actually have coming up, guys. Is we will actually be having a 100 subscriber giveaway. We actually grabbed one of the exclusive Chrome BB9 units, Funko Pops from Box Lunch that we'll be giving away once we hit 100 subscribers. This will be completely at random, so make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. And then, like I said, we'll be raffling that off, and one of you out there will actually be winning that item.
And if you guys want to get your friends to subscribe too, because the 8 people that actually listen to this shit, I think we need a little bit more than that. So get everybody, kind of take a listen here and get that subscribership up, and we'll give away that item.
Oh yeah, we're definitely excited to give that away. Like I said, we'll post some pictures and merch and post some video of that up here pretty soon. So probably expect that video dropping shortly after this podcast drops.
So I did want to ask about Force Friday because I was following you. We were in that group message, and then we posted that video on YouTube. I'm not actually familiar with the cadence of Force Friday. And online, like as I was watching our video and saw the other videos, it looks like this is the second one we do during the year. There's actually a first one earlier in the year.
Not necessarily. This is just Force Friday 2, right?
Yeah.
It's the second big one that's come out. So
The first one was for Force Awakens, right?
Right.
So 2 years
Okay.
ago, they kind of organized, they're like, hey, pretty much all the stores, right? Walmart, Target, Toys R Us, the stores that can be open at midnight that aren't in the mall, kind of open up for a couple hours and drop all their new stuff, right? It's all the figures, board games, you name it. If it's going to be for the new movie, it's coming out. They did like a mini one last year for Rogue One, but I think only Toys R Us was open.
Yeah.
The other stores kind of skipped it.
from what it looks like, this is only the second official Force Friday. It has the official hashtag Force Friday 2.
Yeah.
So it is the.
So it's not like a Black Friday for Star Wars every year kind of thing.
It's just kind of a coordinated
Just for the
effort.
movie.
Yeah, it's like a coordinated effort just to get all the toys out at the same time. Like
Which is kind of like a Black Friday
yeah.
for Star
for
Wars.
Star Wars, right?
Well, I actually find it kind of funny, anyways, that there's licenses out there that can create. They're basically their own holiday, their own retail holiday.
Yeah.
So you have Amazon that basically has Prime Day,
Yeah.
and now you have basically
Disney.
Disney creating basically Star Wars Day with Force Friday, where they're basically creating their own retail holiday to drive retail volume just to buy their shit.
Well, and
Disney
people are
has a
going in the
couple.
middle of the night. I mean, Larry, you were talking about stores being open on midnight. You guys went in the middle of lunch hour. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's creating that
There was
buzz.
at least 40 people at each store.
Wow.
Like easy, right? So that's 80 just at 2 stores in my little neighborhood.
Well, to Jeremy's point too, think about this. This is not the first holiday that they've created for Star Wars. Like May the 4th,
That's true.
over
yeah.
the few years, has started to become the official Star Wars holiday. So you got not one, but 2 Star Wars holidays out of this. One of them non-retail, the other one specifically retail.
No, it's one of those things where I think it's probably a trend that's not gonna end. I'm honestly waiting for Marvel or for Disney to do something Marvel wise, basically.
Oh,
like,
it's coming.
MCU Day.
MC
MCU Monday.
MCU
It
Monday
would be
or
Marvel Monday.
or Marvel Monday.
You heard
or-
it here first.
Hashtag Marvel Monday.
Actually, yeah, we're gonna corner that market on that one. Trademark.
So the reason we actually brought our special guest on today is because, like everyone out there knows, sadly, but excitingly, but sadly, the latest season of Game of Thrones has come to a close. We have
It has.
one more season left that we're going to be anxiously waiting for. But our special guest, she is a resident expert in everything that is Game of Thrones.
She is. So one of the things that we were kind of looking at here with Game of Thrones, being that the season's over, at least this current season's over, we wanted to not necessarily spoil everything, but there are so many theories as to what's going on, and actually one of the most prominent fan theories from like the 3rd season came true right at the end of the season. So we want to look at, maybe talk about some of the theories that we think are utterly shit, and theories that we actually think might end up coming true. So
Absolutely. So, Stacy, what's some of the craziest theories that you've heard?
So some of the craziest theories, one that I absolutely don't think it's true, but that Arya Stark is dead. Yeah,
okay.
that that in that battle scene with her and the other faceless girl she was killed. So
Well, yeah, because they blocked that out, right? She blew out the candle.
exactly, she blew out the candle. They blocked it out, right? And you don't know what happens. All you know is that Arya goes back to the faceless man, and she says she succeeded. I feel like after seeing this season that she is alive. Like just the way that her mannerism is, the way that she's on talking to Sansa. I think she's alive. So What do you guys think?
No, I think that one's a little out there. I remember
Interesting.
when I very first saw that scene, I'm like, okay. At that point in time, I think Arya's is demonstrating her skill rather than, like I said, there was too much forethought into luring her in. I said she got Needle back at that point in time, and I said there's too much build up to it. It's basically showing, I have the skills of the Faceless Men now, but I'm also combining it with all the skills that I've learned up to this point. So I actually don't think she's dead.
Yeah.
It brings up a valid point though, because I mean we don't really know what happened in that battle scene. So for all we know, it could be that girl wearing Arya.
Exactly. She could be her face, but I think it's not gonna come true.
So, actually, one of the theories that I always found that was great actually involves the Faceless Men as well, is actually that the theory that Ed Stark is actually still alive, and that the person who got their head cut off was a Faceless Man wearing his face.
So I have another theory that kind of goes against yours, is that Rhaegar Targaryen is the Faceless Man.
Oh.
And that one goes with, so there's a few clues that could be that he is alive, is that he is living as Jack Harger. He has the silver streak in his hair, just like the silver hair of Rhaegar Targaryen. And, he's always been infatuated with helping Arya, who, if anyone else on the show looks like Lana, his love, it's Arya. Like, she looks like Ned, and Ned looks like, they look like each other, and she just closely resembles Lana.
Remind me, Stacy, who was Rhaegar? Is
John's dad, his real
That's right,
daddy.
okay.
Yeah.
As revealed in this last season, his
Yeah.
real poppy.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I always get him and the Mad King mixed up because his names
Oh,
are kind of
yeah,
out there.
no.
The Aegon and Rhaegar
I
and all
know.
that shit.
Aaron, Aegon,
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's John's daddy. So it'd be him being alive. And so what they say too is that when Rhaegar died, he died in the battle fighting with Robert Baratheon. Robert slammed a big giant hammer in his chest, and Rhaegar fell in the lake. But no one ever found his body. And so they think that it could have been someone else that Robert hit, and Rhaegar survived everything and is living like this. And it just to protect his son, right? He knows that Robert's never going to stop trying to find him and kill him, right? And so he's just kind of hiding out.
That's an interesting theory.
Right, and I think it gives John such a good close, right? Of my whole life, everyone's lied to me about who my parents are, and I didn't know who they were, and finally gets to see his true parents.
Yeah, I have to say I liked watching John's journey this last season, watching him go through that whole identity crisis. And I mean, while we, the audience, know who he is, he doesn't quite yet know. But it's funny to see that kind of come to a close, if you will, because he's gone through this whole crisis for the entire series, really. Just who am I? Everybody I love dies. Everybody believes in me, but I'm just this bastard. So it is pretty interesting to watch him sort of grow into this role.
No, I agree with that. I also think that too, that it's one of those things to where you can tell now that there's a separation. This is kind of my only not necessarily a complaint. It's just something that I can tell. You can tell now that they're going off of the HBO writers rather than having anything based upon the books. It just to me it just has a different feel. Do you guys agree?
Well, no,
I do.
yeah, a lot of the places I actually saw when you look at fan theories, they actually have it separated out now between movie fan theories and book fan theories, because they're this one's not possible in the movie or in the HBO series, but from the books it still kind of is. They actually have, there's becoming a distinct separation between the two.
They diverged somewhere in the last season from the books, right? In
Yeah.
5.
And they have, and I think the other part too is that you can do so much more in a book than you can in the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're limited in that way. Then they only have one season left, and so they kind of have to make sure they finish everything up of the big hits, right? And so that's where you see the separation between the book and the TV show.
So in regards to another theory that, well, I don't necessarily theory. It's a theory, but it's possibly how basically the whole thing ends, of where the whole thing is actually a story being told to John's son. Basically, so as we saw in this season, like I said, we saw Danny and John hook up, and then we think basically, like I said, that there's going to be a baby out of that, and then the end all be all, like how this whole series wraps up, is that this whole story is basically being told to John's son, and that's basically where it's coming.
I actually have some background, not necessarily background like proof because it may be different, but something that actually as I'm going through and kind of rewatching parts of the scenes, something I noticed is when they first go in and you see the hall with all the Meisters, right? There's a chandelier that's in the
And the Citadel.
Did you see Meisters?
I say Meister. I don't know. I don't know.
Maesters.
Meister. I'm to be the new Meister.
The Meisters. They have a chandelier in that, and
Like, if you give me shit about a inaugural, I can give you shit about Meister.
First off, it's a made-up word, and I'm saying it as it's actually fucking written. So
Meister.
Meister is the way it would be pronounced in German. You fucking dolt.
Well, we're not talking about Germany, though.
We're talking about
It's a made-up land of Westeros.
Yes.
But anyways, their fucking chandelier is in the opening scenes of the story, like in the opening.
Yeah, it's
crawl
the
of all
sun,
things.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
The sun is
Yeah.
that chandelier that you see in that building.
no.
So it looks at things like, okay, a lot of what they're seeing is stuff that they're relating back from what they've actually seen in person.
Yeah. And that also has to be that Daenerys is able to have a baby and have John's baby. We already know they hooked up, right, on the boat scene. But it's her being able to have the baby and
While Tyrion's sitting there watching the whole thing go on, just beating
like a
it.
creeper.
Beating it like it owes him money.
But for her, you know, the old witch that told her that she won't have a baby, right? She also said a life pays for itself. So her dragon that has died is what should be able to give her a baby, right?
So it is that life.
So I'm glad you mentioned that, Stacy, because I watched the episodes on television, and I give a friend my HBO Go login, so she watches it. So we talk about it at work.
Wait,
Sharing the same account.
The STS guys do not promote or condone the sharing of HBO Go or HBO Now passwords
So
and public service announcement.
yeah. So the folks at work were talking about it, and so I had to dismiss myself, of course, because I hadn't watched it yet. But I was I was a week behind because I actually started watching. I watched that second to last episode the week of the finale, so I watched both in a row. And the friend who uses the login had watched both episodes. Well, I went to that second to last episode, opened the episode, and didn't press restart. So it starts as the Night King and his posse's pulling the dragon out of the ice. Not realizing this, I'm thinking that this is the beginning of an episode. So I'm watching it. He walks down. He resurrects the dragon. The blue eye comes on, right? And I'm like, okay, great. Opening sequence. And then credits.
Yeah.
I'm like, no! So I restart the episode, and the whole time, like in the back of my head, I already know what's going to happen, so I'm following it. And then towards that scene where Daenerys takes off with the dragons, I'm like, all right, yeah, I know what's about to happen.
You're like,
Totally
no,
ruined
just
it for
take
me.
one.
I mean, I do a great job of avoiding Facebook. I don't talk to people. If I miss an episode, I'm totally antisocial because no spoilers,
So you
right?
became a recluse on all things social
All
media.
things social media, I logged out, none of it. And then I went and spoiled it for myself.
Well, as you found out with like ESPN, like nowhere is safe for Game of Thrones spoilers. When they threw in one during like a story on sports, they put somebody threw a video up on there of what happened. Like, you are nothing that you can look at online.
No, you're
during
not
Game
safe
of Thrones
anyway.
Oh yeah,
is
no.
safe.
So like when BuzzFeed always does like a recap and like the best reactions and memes on Twitters, which I absolutely love. But so when the leaked episode of episode 4 came out, because the like Spanish channel somewhere in Spain, right, released
Donde
it.
está la Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones.
They did a BuzzFeed article on it, but they forgot that it was a leaked episode, so they put spoilers on. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because this week after the finale, the guys and I, we were talking about Pop in a Box last week. So I went online just to see about the website. And so while signing up, of course, you get the newsletter. So I got the email from them, but thankfully in the subject line it had like bold or cap letters with stars all over it, spoilers, and then of course it was the Night King on the Fallen Dragon. But it was, yeah, I totally ruined it for myself. But I didn't ruin the finale. I at least knew
that's
from
good.
that mistake to start the episode over.
God damn it.
Well, and then, so once the show ends, right, they are in talks of making 4 different spin-off shows.
Really?
They are. I don't know what the spin-off shows are just yet. I don't think that they know, but they want to make 4 different ones.
Are your thoughts maybe to continue the story or build
Well,
on
I think
stuff
it's
we
a lot of
already know?
prequels.
Prequels stuff, but
Yeah.
that's going to be hard because, I mean, the story goes over most people's, like,
They do, but
Yeah,
there's
pretty
so
well.
many things
Look
in
at-
the
look-
Game of Thrones.
Look at the thing that you can do though. Is that you can lead up to basically when Jaime Lannister kills the Mad King. Like it's like that could be
For
like
sure,
some-
the Mad
right.
King era, you can do like the First Men, right?
yeah,
when
the First Men,
the
First White
children,
Walker.
Relief
right?
children.
Children of the
Right.
Forest. Yeah.
Yeah, Children of the Forest there. So there's a lot of things that you
kind
can
of lead
do.
up to the Stark lineage and kind of go through that from the First Men to the Starks.
Have any of you read the books or started them?
No.
Because my question really is
I
like,
tried.
do they talk about that in
Scott
the
doesn't
books
know
at
how
all?
to read.
I tried, and I saw words and was like, "Oh, this is in the movie."
It wasn't on Reddit. It wasn't on Reddit, so Scott's not reading it.
No pictures. I'm done.
I need pictures. I need I need
Like a pop-up
excitement.
with
You're like,
the-
yeah,
Yeah.
one of those like
A pop-up
pop
with
the little
swords
levers.
and
Look at the
blood's
dragon,
coming
and
out.
he's
Look,
pulling a
the
little tail.
dragon's eating the guy.
Scott wanted exactly what we see in the opening credits of the town building itself with the paper.
I just want tits. I'm sorry, but like you don't have it. It describes them in the book, but I want the picture. God damn it! Like just
pop-up
pop
drawing.
up. Boop, you know, it's like there they are. No boobs, no readums. Like that's it. That's all I have to say.
There's definitely a lot of boobs involved.
There's a lot of boobs.
However,
and
do you notice though, like I said, over the course of the last few seasons, it's tapered off a lot.
A lot
compared to
less-
what it
a
used
lot
to be.
less wiener in the movies.
It's interesting you say that because I was just watching an interview. Now I didn't actually put the math together when the interview aired and where they were in the series, but the actress who plays Daenerys was on there with like her translator gal. They were on I don't know if it's one of the late night shows.
Yeah.
And they were talking about the nudity piece of it, and Danny basically said, she's like, I feel like it's a little bit uncomfortable, like unbalanced. So like, you know, the women nudity to the male nudity is, you know, way off ratio wise. And so I don't know if that's sort of contributed to that or
One
So
thing we gotta
basically,
bring
this-
up is the South Park, the South Park episode about George Martin, where
Well-
he redoes the intro song with them singing the wiener, floppy
Floppy-
wiener.
Well, the funny thing about that is that is literally the reason
Wiener.
why my wife can't watch it. Is because before she even watched an episode of Game of Thrones, because we both watched South Park together, she saw that episode and so she's like, I can't watch it now. I can't watch it because every time I hear the opening intro, that's exactly what I
you
hear.
hear that song. So what were your thoughts on that last scene with at the wall?
Getting a shovel and asking where Tormund is, right?
Yeah.
You're like, don't die.
Well, that
Don't wanna-
and then here's the thing too. Like, is it? Here's like the controversy. And I want to get all your guys' thoughts. I'm like, is it ice or is it fire? I for one think it's ice.
I thought it was ice, but I'm actually thinking it's fire, but that blue flame that burns like super hot, or I got all scientific on it.
And I just think it's like their version of like dark fire, like it's the evil fire, like it's what
Like
an
the-
undead dragon would burn.
It's like the opposite of
yeah,
wildfire.
I think
Yeah.
it's ice.
All right, so you think it's
I do. And like the wall itself, like it's just anything hitting it like that hard is gonna
Yeah.
break down. So whether it's fire or ice, you can't tell there. But I think it's ice.
Larry, you've had a whole lot to this conversation. What do you
Yeah.
think?
I have no idea what that means, but I'm going to side with Stacy and say that it's ice.
All right, 3
Fucking-
ice to 2 fire.
Fucking
Ice
traitor.
wins.
I do have to say, like I did
But
like
he's not
the.
I don't. He doesn't fit the description of an ice dragon.
Well,
though.
here's
like
like I said, it's creative license, and here's the reason why I think it's ice. Because like I said, because there's all the wooden structures that are on the wall. None of them actually light on fire. They just basically get
break,
destroyed.
yeah.
They break apart. There's nothing that basically shows that it actually lights on fire. So I'm thinking it's literally the force of the ice that's literally breaking that wall apart. So it's almost acting like a drill, and it's actually just cranking that and basically just look at in real life. Like I said, if you throw a big chunk of ice against another chunk of ice, it'll break that chunk of ice.
Right, and the sheer weight of that wall on
Yeah.
itself, there's no surprise why
Yeah,
it
you
would
start
have
getting
collapsed.
some cracks in that, and like I said, it'll start to break apart.
Thing into it is a fucking dragon, so I don't think anything it does is gonna break the damn wall.
Yeah.
It's
So-
gonna spit fire.
Right.
Well,
it
that-
can spit anything. It's gonna break that shit down. It's a dragon.
Well, that I think I love
A
the reason
magical
why.
dead dragon.
It's a magic dead dragon. Yeah, that's exactly.
Well, the reason why I like this whole argument to begin with because so many people have gotten passionate about it's ice, it's fire, or it's ice.
It's
ice.
It's
ice.
It's ice.
Put your hands together.
Yeah. Listen together. It's fire and ice at the same time. You mean water?
Yeah. So the Meister in me says it's ice. But no, it's an argument that people get into so much.
Oh, it gets
but here's the
heated
thing.
online.
But
It
here's-
doesn't matter.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
Well, it doesn't matter because what?
The wall is still destroyed.
Well, not even that. It's a TV show.
Like fictional characters.
Like I said, literally, I said you have things that you can't talk about. You have politics, you have religion, and then if
Game
it's
of
fire or
Thrones.
ice, Game of Thrones.
It's just Game of
Up
Thrones
there
in
with
general.
race, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
Here's the thing I think is like
All dragon lives matter.
you know, I have to kind of agree and go back and say this. I think that all workplace conversation is getting ruined by Game of Thrones. Because really, we have to default to politics because no one can fucking talk about Game of Thrones at work anymore. So we have to be like, well, what's going on in the world today?
So,
Like,
Well,
literally,
you
all
know-
these networks need to get together and basically time out their shows because here's the thing: it seems like everyone's in peace and harmony when they have something to talk about. So we have Walking Dead coming up, we have Game of Thrones. We basically need some filler shows in between, so that way everyone doesn't have to talk about like Trump or Hillary or this, that, or
Right.
the other.
Yeah, because we'll talk about TV shows.
Yeah, but we should
Yeah.
talk about TV
we need
shows.
to be able to talk about TV shows. And you know
Hashtag
what?
not my dragon.
Yeah, the saddest thing is this: if you're 3 episodes behind, leave the fucking room. Let me talk about my goddamn show. Like, do not tell me this. Don't tell me your spoilers. Fuck off.
Well, see,
Like,
then
I'm
that's
talking
why-
about my goddamn TV.
So when
shows.
I'm behind, that's why I'll at least I'll walk away because I know they want to talk
Like,
about it.
I'm
I'm
out.
in those
Yeah.
conversations, and I don't want to ruin it for them. They obviously want to debrief on it.
Please
So
don't talk about it. Fuck you. Like, let us talk because we have nothing else to go on right now.
Yeah.
That's
because we're nerds.
we're nerds and it's Game of Thrones. Let us talk.
That's like basically letting someone start a sentence and not finish it. No. I want to finish. Wait. So no, it's like I said, Game of Thrones. Like I said, it's one of those things that I know I'm excited for the final season to come back. It's one of those things where it's gonna be an interesting season. One, because like I said, it's gonna be a shorter season, but all of the episodes, like I said, are going to be a little bit longer, almost feature film like some of them.
Right. So they said they're
Yeah.
going to be hour
Hour and a half,
hour and a
like,
half.
I think
hour
the
and a half
finale
plus.
was 90,
Two-
wasn't
yeah.
it?
Oh, this finale
Yeah.
was 80 minutes.
It was 80
Was it 80?
minutes,
Okay,
80 minutes,
yeah,
so
it was
add
a little
the-
longer.
Expect at least that 80 minutes plus for each next episode. So I know we're kind of coming out end of time here, but Stacy, I want to just get your kind of last kind of take on everything. How do you think, as a resident Game of Thrones expert, how do you think this is going to end?
So I do think Daenerys is going to have Jon's baby. I think Jon is going to
Wonderful
die.
incest
I know,
baby.
right? Wonderful
Yeah.
incest baby, uncle, nephew, baby. I think Jon is going to sacrifice himself and die for everyone to live. And maybe if that means him even having to become the Night King to save everyone, but that's how it's going to end, him just saving himself, or dying to save everyone else. And then like Jeremy said, it's going to end with Sam talking to Jon's baby and telling him that, the story about his father, and then it's going to close out the picture of his eye, right, because his baby's going to have blue eyes, right, and they're all inside the story of the blue-eyed dragon, or the blue-eyed giant. Yeah, so that's it.
Very cool.
Perfect.
Well, Stacy, thank you so much for your insights on Game of Thrones. I'm glad that we had you on to get some different insights and some different perspectives, rather than just 4 dudes talking about Game of Thrones.
Unfortunately, Stacey, outside of it,
Would
I
it
think you
just
and
stay-
Jeremy are the only caught up ones, to be honest.
If I wasn't on it, it would just be boobs all the time,
I'd be
right?
talking about whose boobs are better.
Like, did you see Daenerys' boobs today?
Shame. Shame.
Rewind. Shame. Shame.
I know that scene very well. Let's just put it that way.
I felt shame.
I felt shame after that one. Yeah, I felt nothing gets me better than an old woman walking around yelling at a naked lady. Like it's just like, all right, let's do it. Let's do this.
All right. So last week we talked about the state of the DC universe and some different things that have happened there. Interesting rumor this week. Have you guys heard about the new rumor?
Oh, I have definitely heard about the new rumor that you're talking about.
Right on Friday, everybody started reporting that Leonardo DiCaprio was the leading candidate to play the Joker in the Joker standalone movie.
Yeah. Which it might actually hold truth because him and Scorsese have been butt buddies for some time now with all their different movies.
Well, and here's the thing. So, hearing that, and like I said, if he can master a voice and use all the mannerisms that he had in Wolf of Wall Street, like I said, the crazy acting that he did in Wolf of Wall Street, like I said, I think he could actually legitimately pull off a Joker.
If he does this, I want him as the Joker forever. Like, I just want him that. Like I said, he does the best Jack Nicholson impression I've ever seen.
Isn't Jared Leto pissed? I
Probably.
saw that too. He was mad that this is even talking. Probably because he knows Leonardo will do a better job.
Yeah, no one cares about Jared Leto as the
Not
Joker,
really.
though. Like, he is a little turd stain on DC's
So
side.
basically, what we're saying is Jared Leto doesn't want to share his grill with Leonardo.
No. And all his little tattoos, because that's what the Joker needs is tattoos.
Yeah,
Now
damaged.
I do have to ask Scott if you have Jared Leto as Joker or Iron Fist in Defenders, which one are you favoring?
Oh, this is a hard one.
Fighting words here. Fighting words.
Fighting words. So
So
basically, you're taking used tampon versus turd and putting them in a fight together. I'm going to say I hope they both kill each other, and so they can rid us of both of their existence.
and flush.
Flush, they're both gone.
All right, so I think it's one of those things where if it actually comes to fruition, you know what? As much as I was afraid of a standalone Joker movie, I'd have to see it if Leonardo DiCaprio pull it off as a Joker, just because I've seen a couple fan theories and fan renditions of that. Especially seeing Wolf of Wall Street and his mannerisms that he had in that specific movie. If he could pull it off and wrap up a good voice, I think it would actually be really, really good.
I am all for an actual good actor coming in and actually trying to play the Joker, right?
But isn't this supposed to be an origin story? And
is.
he's kind of old.
He is kind of old.
How is that going to work?
Right, but I mean, if you watch What's Eating Gilbert Grape and then like Wolf of Wall Street, like there's a little bit different, but there's not that much difference. Like he is the epitome of the Hollywood aging where he just like stopped. Like he whatever drank the juju, whatever you want to call it, like he has not aged in like 10 years.
Well, I just thought of another movie. I said if he could wrap up a couple of these movies, like the way he does things in these movies together, he could pull off an awesome Joker. Have any of you guys seen Basketball Diaries?
Oh yeah.
Dude, he is like the creepiest motherfucker in that movie
He's
ever.
like the school shooter. Like
Yeah.
he's creepy as fuck. Yeah.
So pulls off that, gets the mannerisms from Wolf of Wall Street, and then, like I said, his crazy Jack Nicholson voice.
Right, his crazy Jack Nicholson like impression. Mix all those together and get it. As long as he doesn't try to replay a version of Heath Ledger's Joker, I think it's going to end up well. I think the problem, especially with Leto, is that he's trying to be like, oh, I'm going to take that inspiration from Ledger, and it's like, no one can do an impression of that well. Like, that was Heath Ledger, and no one else can do that. Like, make that shit your own. Stop trying to, like, repeat that.
Yeah.
And get away from it, because it's not good.
Well, and here's the thing. So I gave Jared Leto, like I said, his own chance, because seriously, everyone had reservations about Heath Ledger playing the Joker. Oh, the guy from 10 Things I Hate About You is the Joker. The guy from Brokeback Mountain is the Joker. Like,
Yeah. He made out with Tobey Maguire. Like, whatever.
My So-Called Life?
yeah, like I said, he's gonna be the Joker. I'm like, it's not gonna work. But like I said, that performance blew everyone away. So you know what? I actually went into Suicide Squad with like you know what? Completely no judgments whatsoever. I'm like, hey, you know what? Let me see this. I don't get it because like, when they first saw it, we had the first impression, this first look, I'm like, it doesn't really look like the Joker, but okay. You know what? I could be surprised. It could be something else. You know what? In the end, I still was disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, Ledger's Joker was good for the Nolan verse, but I think when put up against Jokers from like the comics or like even the animated series. It was not as good as it could have been. And then you have Leto trying to this bad imitation of like millennial hipster Joker of Ledger's. Like it just you're doing a
Millennial
bad
hipster Joker.
You're making this like
He's onto something with
I
that,
am.
though.
It's the truth. It's like this bad. It's like
All he needed was a... Never mind, I won't say that.
A man
having have
bun.
some bee's knees tattoos and call it good. Like he's just this bad imitation of the Joker from the movies. It's like I don't know. I could not stand. I mean, Suicide Squad was a shit movie in general. Let's just all be clear about that. He made it worse.
Well, I think he made it worse, but it's he made it worse, but it's one of those things where I think he didn't even show up in it. Like I said, he was such a prominent portion of all the promotional materials when it really had nothing to do with him whatsoever.
Well, I mean, look at the fact that he went on afterwards and bitched about how little screen time he got. Because, well, I got so into character, I sent used condoms to all my coworkers. Maybe that's why you got cut out of the fucking movie. Like, because you're a psychopath.
Method acting.
Method acting. And everyone who can see, I'm doing air quotes when I say method acting. Like, you're a turd. Like, I don't know what else to say. I've never seen a good movie that you've been in.
I think I want to overlay basically a count on this podcast of how many times Scott says turd in this thing.
I think I'm at about 4.
It's gonna be at least 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just like a little shit. Like that's the best way I can put it.
That's
Like,
just a fancy way of saying turd,
it's a
Scott.
fancy way of saying
I'm
turd.
counting
So
it.
we're counting
Judges?
that one.
Yeah, judges.
That's the best way
That
to
does
describe
count.
it.
It does count as turd.
It counts.
It counts as one, 100%. But that's the best way to describe him. Like
Is turd?
is turd. You are a turd. I'm at 7.
Yeah, I think
so
that
we'll
gets
keep
us
it
at
going.
7.
I'm gonna keep count. We got a few more topics to cover. Let's see how many I can get up to, gentlemen. That actually kind of lights into one of our featured topics.
Yeah, so I actually saw a trailer here this week on the new Super Troopers coming out in April, and I just wanted to see what the group's thoughts were on that. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the original, but it's the same as all the remakes that they've done, Ghostbusters, what have you. You've got this huge span of time in between the original and either the remake or the sequel. I, for one, love Brian Cox, the captain. He's not a turd, but he treats them like it because he.
Thank you, Leo. That doesn't count for me.
But I am.
What doesn't count for him?
I'm not saying the word fuckers. I will say it organically. God damn it.
Organically or not. I will say I'm a little. I am excited to see that they're still playing the Meow game in the trailer, but they're Mounties this time. Did you see that?
They're Mounties, and with Jim Gaffigan back again as the guy in the car.
Yeah, and he actually recognizes them too.
Yeah.
You see that?
As the meow
As the
guy.
Meow guys.
So,
Yeah.
Hasn't this movie been meant to come out for so long
Yeah,
now?
I've seen promises for
right,
it over and over again.
GoFundMes and all this.
So with Super Troopers, they wanted to make the movie, but really, since they're like an independent studio, not a lot of people ended up wanting to pick it up and give them the money they needed. So yeah, they did. They went to big Kickstarter or GoFundMe or one of those other things, and
Indiegogo.
Indiegogo, right?
Indiegogo.
They used one of those funding things to get funded. And Larry, we've actually talked about this a couple of times about we're not really certain about this movie.
I just worry that it's lost its magic, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many years ago it was when that first one came
Yeah.
out, but I think it's one of those things you can bring it back, you bring back all the same characters, but does it have that same feel? We're all older, are those jokes still funny? All that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, and I worry about it's going to go the way of every sequel that was awesome. Is that you have to one up your original, right? Yeah. To make it better than the original, you want it to be better, so you have to try to one up it, make it better. In doing so, most franchises, most movies end up failing miserably.
Yeah, well, to
And-
Larry's point, we've had 15, 20 years between the movie, and we're older, and B, our expectations have
Are
changed
super
because
high.
we've seen more movies in that time.
Well, here I'm gonna take the other side. I think the reason it's going to be good, like I said, and I'll eat my words. Like I said, once I actually see it, I think the reason it's going to be good is because you not only have, like I said, the actors that are there, they're producing the movie. So basically, they know what the fans want. The fans have wanted this forever. Like I said, look how much money they made from their Indiegogo campaign that were donated by the fans because this is what the fans want to see. So I think that basically with them being directly involved in the production of the movie, rather than having a studio or different director doing that,
Right.
I think with their direct involvement, I think that's what's going to be the saving grace of the movie.
Yeah, their agenda is what they're producing in the movie.
So, if I remember correctly, kind of the first movie to go around, kind of doing, hey, we're gonna do a Kickstarter Indiegogo thing, was the Veronica Mars movie.
Yes.
That movie sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not a
It's
sure
not a guarantee,
thing.
yeah. Well, the one saving grace, and to jump on Jeremy's point here, that I have found is that the guys over at Broken Lizard, who are the comedy troupe that produces the Super Troopers movies, have done extensive like screen audiences and actually have tested to be not specifically like what your traditional like screening is. It's like, did the music work in this thing? But more so to like, was our shit funny? Like, did you find like these specific jokes
Yeah,
funny?
that's the whole point of the movie.
Was there
It has to
anything
be funny.
else that we could do? And if they got a lot of negative feedback, would go back and reshoot scenes to try to be like, let's try a different joke and let's see what that one did. So trying to go back and like use that negative feedback from audiences to fix parts of the movie. So I'm hoping that leads things into it.
And probably no pressure from a studio, right? If they're doing it by their own, there's no timeline. They can take their time and get it right.
And I'm gonna
Do we know
butcher
when
his
it comes
name,
out?
But
April, end of April.
April, yeah. So I'm gonna butcher his name, but
Oh no,
Jay-
420. It's
420?
420. Yeah.
420, yeah. So I'm gonna butcher his name, but it's Jay Chandra Kishore, I think, is the Shama.
Is he a Meister?
Is he a
yes,
Meister?
the Mexican, yes, from the start. He's generally the director, right? He's one of the guys that's done it. He's the director. He did a couple other shows. I have faith in him to be able to actually like make a decent movie. He's done a couple other TV shows and things that have actually ended up being pretty well, and a couple things on like Adult Swim and stuff. So I think he understands movies. So I think coming into it, it will be good. I don't know if it's going to be as good as the original. I don't think it's going to be as funny.
I completely agree with that. I don't think it's going to be as good as the original. I think it'll still be a good enough movie where I'll be entertained.
Oh yeah, as long as I can sit and laugh at it, and they have stupid jokes and the traditional piss and fart jokes that they have in every single one of their movies, and the weed jokes, I think I'm going to be entertained.
Here's the thing, and this is how I'll judge my own personal success of the movie, is if I can pull out a couple quotes that I can regularly use. Like, so for example, like I said, I don't know how many times during the first one I actually said, "You boys want to go to Mexico?"
You're right. Or how many people started the meow game
Yeah.
when everything's... I legit, after that first movie, with the iPhone you can create like shortcuts, right? So you can say like, if you type like ABF on your phone, it'll actually like automatically create like you can tell it to create a sentence. So I pissed my wife off a lot because I went in there and made it so every time she wrote now, it changed it to meow, like just because of that movie. So every time she'd be like, "Do you want me to come down meow?" Like for work, like if physically and there's nothing she can do because every time she types it, that shortcut takes into account.
Well, because
All
you'd have to
because
be
of
the
that
one to
movie.
fix that if she wanted that.
Oh
fixed.
yeah, I'm tech support for it, so I was just like, I don't know what's going on. It just does that. Like I can't stop it. So like all because of Super Troopers. Like I did that just because it was hilarious at the time. Or does this look like spit to you? Like,
Or, "Do you want a liter of cola? Give me my goddamn liter of cola."
it's French for give me a liter of cola, or I break whose fucking neck.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's for a cop.
Yeah. Was it gonna spit it out? Like, there's so many great quotes that you can do from that movie. Like, as long as I agree with you, as long as I can have a couple of things where I can be like, that movie and the stuff that happens in it becomes part of like my normal day-to-day
Yeah,
life.
your movie
It's a
language
success.
vocabulary.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to make a promise to the audience right now, and I think everyone at this table agrees, including even our special guest. I think we can all go see it probably the weekend that it comes out, and we'll do a full-on review
Right.
of the movie when it actually comes out.
Agreed.
So, coming up here, one of the things that I guess is a pretty good time now that we're kind of coming down towards the end times here. Take a look
The
out.
end times?
The end times.
Whoa, Armageddon
Not-
is coming?
not Armageddon times. End times of this week's show, fucker, is...
I just like that I've been able to give you shit like 3 times already.
Is it
Yeah,
fire or is
it's-
it ice?
Ice. It's a fire or ice, guys.
I don't know, let me ask the Meister.
Let me ask the Meister. God damn it, I read it as it's fucking spelled. Shit. You turd. There we go. So go through... coming up, take a look at some of our upcoming videos. Obviously, we're going to have a video coming up of our giveaway of the BB9 unit.
That thing is
it's pretty killer.
That thing's pretty awesome. Like I said,
It's the Chrome one, right?
yeah,
it is
it's
the
the
Chrome.
Chrome.
Box launch exclusive.
It's
It
the
is.
box launch exclusive. Like I said, once so my wife's out shopping right now because I had her look to see if she could find another one. Like I said, they're out. So there was no more. So when me and Scott went, like I said we said we cleaned them out.
Yeah.
So we bought 3 of them. So one for myself. Scott bought one for himself, and then we bought one for the giveaway.
Right.
Are they on eBay now? Have you seen what they're pricing
about
at up there?
50 is the last time Jeremy and I looked.
Yeah, so they were about 50. Like I
What
said,
were they
that-
retailing? 7?
Retail is like
15
12
or 12,
yeah,
yeah.
something like that. But 12 or 15, I don't know.
So
It was like
the need
12.
is out there.
Yeah.
Already.
Well, it's that immediate. I gotta have.
I
it
gotta
right
have it
now.
now.
Right.
It's-
They'll get restocked.
And so
Yeah.
we do have one to give away. So wanted to kind of go back to that. Look out for that video. We're gonna have that posted up here soon.
Well, that and we
of
didn't
the
want to give
giveaway.
away like something shitty that no
Yeah.
one wants because like I said I've seen so many different channels. I said, oh hey, we're doing this giveaway, and it's basically like, hey, you know what? I reviewed all this cool shit, but hey, you can have my leftovers because I don't want any of this stuff, and so that's what I'm gonna give to you as a giveaway.
Who wants a
Um,
banana peel? You're like, why would I? Well, I don't have anything for that.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where, like I said, we wanted to basically make sure that I said, if we're doing a giveaway, we want to do a giveaway that's one legitimate, and then 2, it's something that everyone wants, specifically that our audience would want.
Right.
So don't forget to look for that. There's some other videos up, right? We got the Mercari haul that we posted
Right.
this past week. Got our Force Friday video. Episode 3 is going up on the YouTube real soon.
The YouTube.
The
The
YouTube.
YouTubes. The tubes of you.
We also have the bandbox video. So
Oh, yeah.
just to let you guys know, I said we will always have that video first before everybody else on the internet.
Just based on our physical location from
Yeah.
where that is sent, we're gonna be
So
first.
just to let you guys know, so I actually live probably a good 5 miles from that warehouse of where those are sent. So prior to anybody actually even getting their bandbox, I could basically have that bandbox received and have a video posted online. So if you're ever interested and want to know what's in the box, what's in the box? You said always tune into our channel because like I said I guarantee you, if we're not the first one, we are one of the top 5 that are out there. That it's going to be out there the very first
of
day
the
that
few
comes
people that actually do the bandbox, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure we are the first.
Yeah, but I said I'm literally surprised how that video is actually taken off. Like I said, so for if you guys want to see any more unboxings specifically, let us know what you want to see too. Leave a comment in the notes of what other boxes that you'd like to see, or if there's something that you want us to try out before you try it out. I'm pretty adventurous into trying new stuff out, so let us know.
Yeah,
like I
he
said,
is.
and I'm an early adopter, so I will be adventurous and try whatever out. So let us know what you want to see, and like I said, we'll see if we can get it on.
Do you have anything coming this week? Did you get your Marvel Collector Core already?
Funny thing about that is, I've gotten so many boxes recently. I didn't realize that I had paused that, so I was so excited to get it. But then
And
when
it's not coming.
But then I went on to go see like, hey, like where the fuck is my box? I'm like, oh, I guess I skipped this the last time.
Whoopsies.
So then I'm like, oh shit! I'm like, DC Legion of Collectors is coming up.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me make sure that one's
Let me make
skipped.
sure
That one was skipped, but I had basically 8 hours before that box closed to unskip that one. So I did unskip that one specifically because there's a pop in there that everyone's been waiting for a long time. There hasn't been a Lex Luthor pop, and so there's basically a Lex Luthor in his power armor pop that's going to be in that box.
Is it Lex Luthor in something that signifies it him, or is it just random bald
No,
man?
it's
Mr. Clean.
It's him.
Could be
It's him.
anybody,
It's
yeah.
him.
Any bald dude.
Yeah, it's him and his basically his like power armor like stuff. So that's one of the 2 pops that are in there. There's actually gonna be 2 pops that are in that box.
If he's in a wheelchair, it's Professor X. Not in a wheelchair, Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Like,
I was gonna go Vin Diesel, right? Like, I've gotten past the period.
Just not a sexy.
The Rock.
Yeah.
The Rock.
Less-
If
less
if he's
sexy Vin
brown and
Diesel.
bald,
Right.
he's
I
The Rock.
am Groot.
I am Groot. Yeah.
So you'll have that. Like I said, Scott. Like I said, he's got the loot crate coming.
Yep.
So we'll do a.
If
so-
it's on time.
Well, and here's the thing: we tried to do an unboxing of that. Like I said, it was our very first step. It turned up potato, so that's why you guys didn't see that.
Yeah, it was filmed on potato. We don't really have the best equipment. As you found, we just got our first multi-mic setup here. So we'll get better, we promise. But yeah, that was not worthy to show to anybody, even like a relative. Like, I wouldn't show it to my grandma.
Yeah.
But
Like,
we did talk about a giveaway from an item from that box last week. We're still working out the details. It's
Yeah.
kind of exciting. Scott's going to be probably setting up our first ever gaming video,
Yes.
hopefully this week.
Hopefully this week. So what I'm going to try to do is, I used to be really good at speedruns on the original Super Mario. I'm now old and can't do it as well, so I've been practicing, trying to get it back in. So I will be doing a speedrun video of my run on Super Mario, going from World 1 to completing Bowser's Castle there. And on that video, we're going to pick a random commenter and send them a t-shirt that came out of that loot box, or that loot crate.
Awesome.
No, that's like I said, we're gonna be doing, like I said, a lot of different giveaways. As I said, if you also know of like any other channels that said we want to partner with, let us know. You know, like I said, if you're a channel that's out there and you want to partner with us with some stuff, like I said, we can basically create. I've seen this a couple of times too, of where, like I said, we send each other mystery boxes of stuff that we have. So we'd love to partner with any other channels that are out there. One, to kind of like just you know, build the community up a little bit, but then two, also just have that would be able to actually share in some of the different excitements and the different boxes and the different items that we have, and be able to share our passion for collecting.
Awesome, man. That would be cool. I'd say just kind of wrap up, right? So don't forget to check us out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Right, so Facebook at the STS guys. I think basically the STS guys. Search it on any general instant messenger or
You'll find us.
anything. You'll find us.
Right, you can get to our website, stsguys.com.
The newest episode, as it's posted, will be on STS guys along with any other video we post. You know, watch us on YouTube, SoundCloud, hopefully iTunes soon. We're still
iTunes is
waiting.
currently under review, so I said we will have hopefully another medium for you guys to listen on. Like I said, but until next time, this is Jeremy.
This is Leo.
This is Scott.
Larry. We're the STS guys. Have a great week, guys.